all what Chachamim or Metanim. Leka midi deloy remiza bayraisa. There's nothing that's not hinted in the Torah that has something. What Rabbanan made, there's a hint in the Torah. What does it have to do? Chachamim don't make new things. The Chachamim have some kind of a snippet, some kind of a branch of a law of the Torah. So the Sefer Sfas Emes brings something very interesting. I would like to talk about it. The Zohar connects the mitzvah of fasting on Tishah B'Av with the third mitzvah in the Torah. What is the third mitzvah in the Torah? Al kain v'yoichlu b'nei Yisrael es gid hanoshim. You know the story that Yaakov Avinu had a fight with an angel, and there had been a spiritual fight. By Yar, the angel saw that he tried to kill Yaakov. By Yar, ki lo yochaloi, he didn't succeed in being victorious over Yaakov. But, however, by Yiga b'kaf Yerechoi, he managed, yes, to wound him, and for a certain period of time, till Yaakov became Muhutzai Leah Yerechoi, and he made Yaakov to be limping. And therefore, the Torah says, this place where the angel wounded Yaakov Avinu, which is called the Gid Hanosha, Al Kain, because of this story, Vayoichlu b'nei Yisrael es Gid Hanosha. Says the Zohar, you know, the word es is not extra in the Torah. There was a Tana called Shimon Amsuni, he was interpreting all the words es in the Torah. Till he came to because the word es means an extension of the subject you're talking about. I give an example. It says in the Torah about tefillah b'mikvah, something that's tamei, v'rochatz es b'sorei b'mayim. So the Gemara interprets what's es, that not only does the flesh have to be tabled in the water, but es b'rabois esara, that the hair as well, if there's a chatzitza in the hair, it's also not a tefillah. So es is like the extension. So comes the Zohar and says over here, Rashi Tevis. What's es Giranosha? It says es Giranosha, es is Rashi Tevis. Av Tisha. Talk about it. So it says that the mitzvah, Av Tisha B'Av, that eating on Tishah B'Av is equivalent to eating the Giranosha. Av Tisha. Av, the month of Av. Aleph of S is Av, the month of Av. The Tav is Tishah. The Rashi Tevis, the first letter. Av Tisha. Av Tisha. Yeah, the other way around. So the Zohar says that here's a rumus in this. I want to explain this, of course, what's going on here, what's the connection. And the Shloh comes and he broadens, extends this. He says not only is Tishah B'Av hinted over here in the Torah, but as well, let's see, Gid Hanosha. What is the gematria of Gid? Gimel Yud Daled. 17. Shivasa B'Tammuz. So we have Tishah B'Av and Shivasa B'Tammuz, the whole Bein HaMetzorim. But what is the connection? So first of all, let's think about this. Let's see if this is a wild thing. What's this connection of Tishah B'Av with eating the Gid Hanosha? But let's go to a Gemara. How many mitzvahs loy sasa do we have in the Torah? We have Reish Mem Ches mitzvah saseh. How many mitzvahs loy sasa? You know how many? 365. And the Gemara says 365. What else do you know that is 365?
Solar year.
The solar year, revolution of the sun. And the Gemara still brings another thing of 365 in the body of the human being. The Gemara says there's 365 Gidim. Now this is interesting. So here we don't have a Zohar, we have here a Gemara that makes the connection between the Gidim of the Adam and the days of the year. So it's not such a pella to say that the day of Tishah B'Av is connected with Gid Hanosha. We see already in the Gemara that the days of the year are parallel to the Gidim in a person. I just want to explain this. So it's logical that every day has a certain Gid that's corresponding to that day. And by the way, so the Svarim say if the Gid Hanosha is corresponding to the day of Tishah B'Av, which Gid in the Adam is corresponding to Yom Kippur? They which is corresponding to Yom Kippur, is the Gid Hamila, when we make Bris Milah. That's like two opposites. The Gisa of Gid Hanosha and Bris Milah. Talk about it in a minute, explain. But first I want to explain this concept.
What's the Gid of Tishah B'Av?
Gid Hanosha. The Gid, where the angel wounded Yaakov Avinu, which we're not allowed to eat.
It's right next to the Milah.
It's not so far away. Very good. It's not so far away. It's interesting. That's an interesting observation. Yes. Now the concept is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we live in a world of this. We can say we live everything in this world. There's an olam. There's a concept of olam kol. The nefesh ha'adam, the adam, is a compact disc, so to speak, of the whole world. Whatever you have in the world at large, you have this is Chazal have taught us that the man is a microcosm of the whole world. What the Chachamim call olam katan, a miniature world. Now, like the adam is a marechet, it's a total marechet, it's a total structure of the world. The same thing, whatever you have in the adam, you also have in time and space. Time, in others, it's not different than three-dimensional. It's a three-dimensional world. Everything can be classified with the person, and he's in a certain time and a certain space. Time is also a compact creation in itself, having corresponding to everything that there is in the world, and space is the same thing. This is called, in the Kabbalah, it's called this Olam Roshei Tevis Ashad. Olam Shona Nefesh. Whatever you have in Olam, you have in Shona. Olam is space, Shona is time, and Nefesh is the human being. So it's not so wild to understand that corresponding Gidim, 365 Gidim, that's Nefesh, and that corresponds to the 365 days in the year, that's Shona. So it's corresponding. So the corresponding in Nefesh, the Gid Hanosha, which is corresponding in the Nefesh HaGuf, that's corresponding to that is the Gid, is the date of Tishah. But what does it mean? What is the connection? All right, so now we explained the Zohar without Roshei Tevis. But what is the connection between the Isa of eating Gid Hanosha and not eating and fasting on Tishah B'Av? So for this, that means if we really want to understand the depths of the meaning of the prohibition not to eat on Tishah B'Av, we have to understand the prohibition of not eating the Gid Hanosha. Because now we have in front of it, this is an extension of the not eating Gid Hanosha. So we have to understand the depths of this mitzvah. So let's learn together. The Sefer Achiluch writes on all the mitzvahs, what are the taimei ha-mitzvah? He tells us roots of the mitzvah to understand the mitzvah. So he says like this, why did the Torah command us not to eat the Gid Hanosha? He says, the idea of this mitzvah is that there should be a hint to Am Yisrael, that even though they will suffer enormous suffering in the exile, but in other words, that the children of Esau and the rest of the nations of the world will try to destroy Am Yisrael. Like we say in the Haggadah to Pesach, B'chol dor b'dor oimdim v'leilu l'chalaseinu. Because we know there's a principle called, let's explain, Maaseh Avot Siman Ubanim. Whatever happened to the fathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, is a sign. It's like a seed. Whatever happened in their life is a sign to what's going to be by the children. So here too, this battle. He's going to explain it right away. But anyway, he says the message. First of all, let's divide it into two parts. What is the message that we have to internalize from the prohibition of not eating the Gid Hanosha? He says that Am Yisrael should know that even though they will suffer in the Golas, in the hands of the nations and the children of Esau, they should be sure of one thing, that they will not be lost. They will not be wiped out from the world. They won't disappear, and that there always will be a nucleus of Am Yisrael in the tzura, in the proper form of Am Yisrael. There will always be a nucleus of Am Yisrael keeping dedicated and loyal to the Torah and mitzvahs. Not Am Yisrael physically will be wiped out, and not Am Yisrael spiritually will be wiped out. There'll always be a nucleus of Am Am Yisrael, ma'aminim steadfast in their faith, keeping and totally loyal to the Torah and mitzvahs, like it always has been. In every situation, that knows that like Am Yisrael won't be wiped out, like the shtakef, like the shokach Torah and pizarro, the Torah won't be forgotten either. And that's number one. Number two, the yovel lahem goyel the yigolay miatzah. The principle of the mitzvah of Narina Gidanosha is the faith that at the end of time there will come a redeemer and redeem them from all the pain of the gods. Means it's the chizuk, it's a strengthening in the emunah, in the faith of Bias HaMashiach. How does it all tell us all this? Well, first of all, what's the purpose of having this, telling this? Uve Zichrom continues to say Pachinas, and he says, Uve Zichrom Tamid Inyan Zeh. By their remembering always these ideas, through this mitzvah, this will give them the power and the energy to stay steadfast in their faith. Yamdu B'Nosom V'Tzikosom L'Yoyla. Am Yisrael has to go through thousands of years in Golis of enormous tests to be disloyal to the Torah, to leave the Torah, but by knowing that the Am Yisrael will not be wiped out. They can't wipe out Am Yisrael. They can make Am Yisrael suffer like the Malach did, but like the Malach could not wipe out Yaakov, is who same thing here too. And so that this will give them, and also he explains, like Yankov Avinu was cured, they will be cured as well. Melech HaMashiach will cure all the difficulties of the gods. How do we see this from this mitzvah? So he explains. The Rebbe Zehu, how do we learn these ideas? What do we say basically? Two ideas. One idea that not Am Yisrael will be wiped out, not physically or spiritually. Secondly, there will come a goyel at the end of time redeem them. How do we learn all this from the mitzvah of Gid HaNoshos? He explains. That angel that battled with Yaakov Avinu. We have the Kabbalah, that means we have received the Messiah as a tradition, that he was the spiritual angel of Esau, and he wanted to kill Yaakov. He wanted to uproot Yaakov from this world, he and his children. But did he succeed? So the Torah says, he could not do it. But, however, what he did accomplish, he did manage to cause him suffering in making him lame in his foot. The Chay, so this was a sign. Zera Esau Mitzayah Zera Yaakov. The children of Esau, they caused suffering to the children of Yaakov. But at the end of time, the V'sayf Piyalem T'chua Me'ah. Where do we see this in the mitzvah of Gid HaNoshos? He says, Tishah B'Av. Torah says, by Yizrach Loi Hashemesh, the sun shines for Yaakov Avinu. By the way, we know the Kabbalah as well. It wasn't the natural shine. It wasn't the Yizrach Loi Hashemesh. Like when Baruch Hu made a supernatural shining of the sun. He took out the sun before its time for Yaakov Avinu. Yizrach Loi Hashemesh, and the sun cured him. It's that shining of the sun for Yaakov Avinu to cure him to Gid HaNoshos. That's a remez, that's a hint to the shining of the son of Melech HaMashiach. The Tishah B'Av, Shezochel HaShemesh B'Apoisai, the Noisha Min Atzar, he was saved from the suffering. Came Yizrach Lonu HaShemesh HaMashiach, Yirapeinu Mitzarenu, Yivelenu B'Mheru Yemeinu Amen. Unbelievable. So what does he write here? He writes that the sign of the mitzvah of Gid HaNoshos is to give us the power to endure suffering of the Amhumas HaOlam and Golis and the strength of the faith of Mashiach. The Gid HaNoshos is a sign that it's where Esau touched us, but he didn't wipe us out. So it's a sign we say Esau can touch us, he can't wipe us out, and even his touching us has a limit of time. There is a catch when Mashiach will come. Now, after learning the Chinuch, how he explains the mitzvah of Gid HaNoshos, we can understand that we attach the fast of Tishah B'Av to Gid HaNoshos. It's not so far-fetched. Stamazay is it's fascinating. I don't think that the Chinuch, I don't know if he knew this, I don't think the Zayah was revealed yet, at least not something that's like this time. You see that the Torah is one. Now, so what do we see from this? We don't, I once heard, some people that don't fulfilling, we don't have so much opportunity to fulfill the mitzvah of Gid Hanashim. So now we know we're fulfilling this mitzvah, a branch of this mitzvah of not eating the Gid Hanashim. One can be mechavim, but it's best, it's difficult. The Tishah B'Av, I'm now fulfilling a branch of the mitzvah, but the Torah commanded us in Pashas Vayishlach not to eat the Gid Hanashim. That's the third mitzvah of the Torah. First mitzvah is Peri Beridia, to have children. The second mitzvah is Bris Milah, to be forth in Matan Torah. The third mitzvah is Gid Hanashim, not to eat the Gid Hanashim. It's interesting. Now, Yom Kippur, what do you say? Yeah. Avram got the Milah. No, Avram, Peri Beridia. Well, Peri Beridia was given to Noah. He started obviously, the nation of obviously. Yitzchak was the first one that had it. Yitzchak was the first one that had a bris milah on the 8th day, and Yankov was Gid Hanashim. Yeah, interesting. I'll call upon him. Let's go now. Let's see. Why we mentioned that Yom Kippur is connected with the bris milah. So let us explain, Thomas, what is the connection? What does it mean? What exactly is the Gid Hanashim? Gid Hanashim means it's the place where the Satan, the son of Esau is the Satan. It's the place where the Satan had Shlita. In other words, you can't eat the Gid Hanashim in a certain sense. You can say, this is the Shlita of the Satan. It's the place where the Satan had Shlita. Now, it's very interesting. The day of Yom Kippur, Chazal tell us, in other words, the Malach of the Esau is the Satan. Now, there's a gematria in the Gemara. Ha-Satan. Explain this in an interesting concept. Yom Kippur and Tishah B'Av, from the point of halachas, they have a lot in common. But the emes is that Yom Kippur and Tishah B'Av are 180 degrees opposing each other. Totally the opposite. Why? Hasatan, what's the gematria of Hasatan? You know the gematria of Hasatan? You figure it out. Satan is 359. Shin. Nun test, get a 5, so 359 plus 5 is how much? See? 64. How many days we're talking about in the year? 365.
Oh yeah,
because the Satan has control on the person, he has permission to do it. 364 days of the year he's at work. But one day of the year, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends him on vacation. What's the day that he sends him on vacation? Yom Kippur. So now, let's put the one against the other. Tishah B'Av is the Gid Hanashim. That's where the Satan has full shlichta on the person, full control on the person. And Yom Kippur is a fast where he has no control on the person. So it's two opposites. So we can say like this. We don't, the purpose, in a certain sense, the purpose of eating is to transform, to give us taychus. Eating is a physical act. But we deform it if we have kavanah, that the food should give us energy to do mitzvahs, then the eating itself becomes a mitzvah. On the other hand, because it gives us taychus from the Avodah Hashem. But we have a concept, for example, of macholot asurot. What's the idea of forbidden food, non-kosher food? This food can't be transformed as a tool to help us in Avodah Hashem. It doesn't have a nitzutz, it doesn't have a spark of kedusha. It can't become a kli. The same way, Tishah B'Av is equal to Gid Hanashim. The eating on Tishah B'Av can't be. We can't transform the food to be a kli for the neshama on Tishah B'Av, the eating a kula v'achila, like the Gid Hanashim, because it's b'shus hasatan. And not eating, so we don't eat on Tishah B'Av. We don't want to be misasek. We don't want to be busy with the go from Tishah B'Av, because that's if we enter the domain of the book, that's the b'shus hasatan. On Yom Kippur, it's exactly the opposite. You know why we don't eat on Yom Kippur? Because we don't need to eat on Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, that's the Satan has no shlita, so we identify with the neshama. We're part of the neshama. So on Tishah B'Av, we don't eat because we don't have the power to make it into kedusha. On Yom Kippur, we don't, so to speak, we don't need to eat. That's this hamila. That's milah versus Gid Hanashim. The milah is the place remember the Gemara says David HaMelech entered a Beis HaMerchatz, and he said to himself, now I am Orum Kol HaMitzvahs, just like I'm naked for mitzvahs. What mitzvah can I do in a Beit HaMerchatz? And suddenly he was niskar, he remembered the Milosa, he remembered that he has bris milah, and that's when David HaMelech said the pasuk, I'm so happy from remembering the bris milah that it's as if I found an enormous treasure. In other words, with the bris milah, I'm in constant contact with Hashem. That's the place where the sun has no shlicha. So this is the explanation, what we explained, that the days are corresponding to the Gidim. Yom Kippur is corresponding to Milah. That's the place where we never forget Hashem. That's the place where we're always in contact with Hashem. But we're the place where the Beis HaMikdash is always built. And Tishah B'Av is the Churban Beis HaMikdash, where the Beis HaMikdash is destroyed in ourselves as well, where Hashem is forgotten. It's one against the other. They have the similar halachas, the 2 days, but they're 180 degrees the opposite one of another. Yom Kippur and Tishah B'Av. That's just to understand this idea. The idea of moving so much. Alright, so we spoke about the Tzom of Tishah B'Av. We have all sorts of mitzvahs connected with the fact that the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. But this is all like the fast of Tishah B'Av. This is all Sur Meirah. What can we do in terms of Sur Meirah means don't what you shouldn't do. But there has to be something asay toiv as well. What we can do in a positive sense. What is our responsibility at this time of the year in a positive sense? How do we do acts which are corresponding to rebuilding the Beis HaMikdash? There has to be an asay toiv as well. How do we connect in this man with asay toiv? What is our obligation to rebuild the Beis HaMikdash? I want to say a certain machshava. There's a concept in Chazal called, the concept in this world called Chavod Habriot. To give Ezu on a chubit, who is the honored person, HaMechabed es Abiyas, the one that gives honor to others, he's a mechubad. The Beis HaMikdash was a symbol. It wasn't a something in itself. We know the Chazal, V'asu li mikdash v'shachanti b'soicha. The Beis HaMikdash was only a symbol of the hashkah, of the resting of the divine presence in the human being. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put an unbelievable holy neshama into the Adam. What is the name of the neshama? You know what one of the names of the neshama is? We say, Leman yizamerecha chavod v'lo yidon. Where does it come, the concept of chavod? To give chavod to another. I always say, if you make a guest of honor a dog, so you save some baby or something, the dog wouldn't absorb the chavod and he doesn't know what chavod is. You can't give chavod to that. An animal, only a human being has a feeling of kavod and a feeling of disgrace of himself to his God. Because the kavod in the Adam comes from the Tzelem Elokim. A behemoth doesn't have a Tzelem Elokim, so he has no kavod. The kavod is the neshama. And what feels the kavod when you mechabed a person, the pleasure comes from the neshama that understands and senses the kavod. Only the neshama can check the kavod. What is the language of the Torah, which when the Torah speaks about the resting of the divine presence in the temple, the Torah says, Uchoy Hashem Mileis HaMishpah. And there's a rhyme, there's a poem, I think it's from Yehuda Levi. Ubelovavi Mishkan Evner. I will build a Mishkan in my heart. The resting like the Kvoid Hashem is resting in the Mishkan. The neshama, when a person is in contact with his neshama, the Kvoid Hashem rests in the other. The Binyan Beis HaMikdash represents that Am Yisrael is in the state where the Kvoid Hashem is resting in Klal Yisrael. That means that the neshama is resting in the other, and each other is his neshama. So when you are mechab now, is that we have a pasuk. Ubehei choloi, kuloi, oine kavod. That's the pshat. The Heichal Hashem was total kavod. Was the source of kavod. The source of kavod is the spark of Hashem that's in this world. you're expressing that he has an akuda of the shaman. That's binyan beis hamikdash. Kavod avriyus is binyan beis hamikdash. I'll give you an example of this. We have an Isa Lashon Hara. The big day Kohen Gadol were mechaper on different averos. So the Gemara says in the eel, one of the big day Kohen Gadol was called in the eel. He had an over jacket, and this over jacket, had moin, had bells, and it's a nishma kodesh, the way like kodesh. So it says that the eel of the Kohen Gadol was mechaper at home to the sin of Lashon Hara. But it's interesting. One of the reasons is because the meal made noise when he went in. It comes something with a noise and the mechapel of the noise. But the meal, do you know what the meal was made? What color the meal was? Oh, very good. The meal was kulei tchelis. Why the meal was kulei tchelis? Chelis doim el rekia. The rekia doim el kisei hakavod. And the shabbos of Klal Yisrael achatzubayis mitachas kisei hakavod. That's what it covered. When a person says Lashon Hara, he's pagan, he puts a defect in the cover of Klal Yisrael. Puts a cover in another Jew. So he's pagan in the other one's neshama. He's saying the kisei hakavod is neshama. He's pagan with the chelish above. The ve'il, which was chelis, was meramis, that on the Kvod Yisrael, on the Kvod HaNeshama, that's the pigam of Lashon Hara. So after the meal was chelis, because that's the tikkun. The tikkun of Lashon Hara is the hisvoinus on the Kvod HaAdam. On the Kvod HaBrius is the Neshama HaKadosh, which is Sheichen Ba'Adam. So the act of Kvod HaBrius, that's building the Beis HaMikdash. And that's Mechabed the other one, and that's Mechabed oneself. Because Angel Mechabed, you share that you're Mechabed others, this makes you a Mechabed. That means, what's a Kli? What is a tool? What is a tool to be Sheichen, the Kvod Hashem in yourself, is the covet that you give to others. So therefore, the act of being Mechabed others, in this day we have a mitzvah, the time of Churban Beis HaMikdash, to do acts which are considered Vasuli Mikdash v'Shachati B'Seicha, make for me a Mikdash. The act of Kvod HaBrius, of being Mechabed others, that's a positive act of binyan beis hamikdash. The same way, another all the things which are Kvod Tzelem and Kvod Adam. I said a shtickle joke. I said one of the reasons why we only really on Tishah B'Av, a person goes to Tefillah, he davens, and he pushes the goods to Beis Hamikdash. And then when he goes to eat, the person eats. Eating is an act which is be'etzim like tight. Where does the eating come from? It comes from the tzara be'heiva sheba'adam. It has nothing to do with the neshama. But the levavi is mishkan evne, u'b'mishkan mizbeach osim la'ava koydo. When the person eating has a condition. If the person, when he eats, he tries to fight with his yetzer hara, and he thinks I'm on it, he puts in a machshava kedusha, not just eating for tiger. Want to eat to have power to learn tiger, to do mitzvahs. So then it becomes a mizbeach, and it becomes kedusha. That becomes that itself is binyan beis hamikdash. All the acts which are only from the behem itself are being erased in the neshama from the other. That's binyan beis hamikdash. When a person is mekadosh the achila, then it becomes binyan beis hamikdash. So we don't eat on Tishah B'Av because we don't want to be machil the beis hamikdash on the day of Churban Beis Hamikdash. So Chazal made they want to be mazakas. We shouldn't be mishtat if they eat the Churban Beis Hamikdash by eating. If eating is not proper. So we make a tzayim. That's vaday the shem kedusha. Make it say not to be mach, not to tear to the Churban Beis, to tear another stone of Churban Beis Hamikdash on the day of Churban Beis Hamikdash. But we have to know that when a person is mashkin the Kvod Adam, when a person gives cover to the Tzelem of the kid, because only a human being can take a physical act of the guf and transform it to kedusha. When a person gives a machshava toiva on a gashmistic act, that's the Kvod Adam, that's the Kvod Tzelem of the kid. That's binyan beis hamikdash. Beis Hamikdash is the etzim, the Kvod Hashem that shows in this world. And the representative of the Kvod Hashem that shows in this world is the Tzelem Elokim, is the Neshama that Kadosh Baruch Hu is mashkin body. So whenever we do an act that expresses the dignity of the Nishmas HaAdam, whether it's Bein Adam L'Chaveiro, the other one is Neshama, or whether it's Bein Adam L'Atzmo, he's Mechabed his own Neshama by not becoming a behemoth,
by transforming his physical acts to a mitzvah, having the proper kavanah, that's opinion based on Mikdash. Shouldn't scared that the Tishah B'Av should be happy, the Avei over, the Simcha, the Yom Tov. Shouldn't be a fast, it should be a Yom Tov.
Amen.